All right, today we are doing a satin mirror on the new Model Y. I haven't done one of these. I'm playing around with it. There's like kind of a cheat code. I know I could do this piece, probably put a little seam here, and then seam it right here to do the inside cap. I know I can do that, but I'm gonna try to get it all in one piece. Obviously still seams, but if you look closely, you can see there's like mold lines, like injection mold lines. So that run up here and then down here. So you could easily hide a seam on that with the film. But I'm gonna play around with it. I'm gonna try to do it in one piece with seams. Kind of getting, I don't know if it's gonna work. We're gonna do an inside flap, kind of pull it around here, relieve that with probably a small cut. Keep this connected here so there is no cut across here, and then get this top section to flap down. That's like the ultimate goal. Is it possible? I don't know. Let's try it out. So I just have like a 18-inch by 18-inch sprayer, and I'm just gonna start with this. So it should be big enough, should be plenty big. Rule number 1, otherwise you'll get torn up in the comments. Roll down the window, or don't roll down the window, roll up the window so you don't spray inside the interior. I learned from my mistakes. Yeah, so I did my BMW like years ago. It's got like a decent amount of views on it, but I did my BMW like years ago and put it on YouTube on how to do it. And I had my windows down, I was doing full body satin, and I was kind of spraying. I got ripped a new one because people were like, you can't be spraying the interior of a customer's car and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't even respond to them. I usually just deleted the comments. All right, so I'm using this straight line, because why not? So I'll use this straight edge for this bottom section on the back. Okay. Kind of just seeing where that's landing. So I do want, the issue with this that I see is it's still gonna need a bit of tension to be pulled up to get it to suck around this back edge. You wanna look. On a normal gloss install, you know, you can just trim it right along this edge right here. But on the satin, you gotta get it over. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a gloss rim, and we don't want that. So we will play around, kind of see what to do. So I'm gonna give it a light. Attack the back right here, this back bottom corner. Let's see if I can show you. Attack this back bottom corner. I do want to get this to kind of suck down. I don't want to, what I might do is I might reposition this. So I don't want to pull this and put tension on this and then squeeze it down because it's just gonna fail. Honestly too, like that's a lot of material to try to get down. So what I might do instead is I might just get it like comfortably down on this top edge and then reposition this and pull down. I'd rather the stretch not be on an edge like that, especially. So I know this top edge is relaxed. I'll kind of slightly come down, and as I'm coming down, I'm releasing my tension. I'm just slowly releasing it. So that should keep this pretty tight up top. I should be able to work that out, those fingers out. Don't know. We won't know until
we know.
Until we know. And then a slight pull forward and up. So actually, we'll know now. What is on there?
Nah, just
see anything? You see something? Do you see something?
Looks cool, dude.
All right. So then I do want to get this down because I need to make sure it's good. Because I do want to trim this edge right away, along this mold line. So I do need to make sure that this is going to go down without like being a pain. I might lift this up just a hair. I'm not pulling, I'm just kind of shifting the film in one direction. Little finger there, I'm not worried about that. I can get it down, no issue. So that should be enough to be able to get that down. We shall see. So then it's all about like dispersing that. So I'm gonna kind of wrap it with my thumb, but pushing away from that corner. And ideally there's really no tension on that corner. Kind of dispersing that center finger. So that should be pretty good. There's really not much tension. There's a little finger there, but it's not like super tight. It's just, it's there. I think I can give it a little heat. I'm confident that would hold. So then what I'll do is I'm gonna trim on this line. So kind of looks like a cut mark in the paint, but it's just, do you see it in the camera? It's just a mold line.
I don't think you can tell.
No, you can't. Well, anyways, there's a mold line that runs across from here. Perfectly, like straight line goes all the way down. I'm just gonna actually cut on that. So if there's a line there anyways, no matter what, you're gonna see it. Might as well hide a seam on there, right?
So you're doing it in sections?
Yeah.
Basically. Right?
Well, I have to relieve this, otherwise I don't have the leverage with the material. This is like, I have so much, like if I was to turn this around this way, I have so much material now. Yeah. But I can't lift this up because it's down. Like I can't, even if I lift this up right now, I've got so much extra material, see, I don't even know what to do with it. So I have to trim this, which, be careful to not tear it. Trim that, which then allows this to be rotated and to use this excess. So if without that trim, it would just bunch up right there. So I have that trim. I'm gonna see what I can do with this. See if I can get away. This is tough because it's, now let me rotate it this way. So we have this bridge, right? So now it's bridged kind of right there. I should be able to get that down slightly. I was thinking I would need to put a little relief cut right in here, just right there on this inside piece. I don't know if I will. I might be able to get away with it. You don't know until you.
We'll see.
You don't know until you know, right?
Don't know until you know.
So I'll soap it up now.
That's soap.
Soap. Let it like slide around, kind of see, play. So see if I pull on this, this is where I need this relief cut. I do need one. I guess I don't need it. Let's see.
How good are you?
Not that great. So I'll pull that kind of tight. It is there. I do want to relieve that. Even though it's looking like it's down, I still want to put a trim in there. I just think that's the right way to do it. You'll never see that trim. So what I'll do is I'll get this pretty tight. I don't want to go too high up, otherwise it puts too much open there. I don't want to go too far down, otherwise it puts too much tension on that. Kind of just a good even stretch. And I'm not hulking this way, because then it's just putting tension on that edge, and I don't want that. So what I'll do is I'll actually push the film into that corner, onto that edge, and then squeegee it. So there's zero tension right here. Right here, yes, but zero tension on this edge. So you can pick it up if you had to. And then I'll play around with this to see where I'm at. Let's see. The idea behind this is I do want to, once I trim most of this, I do want to rotate this to give excess material into this right here. So that way the seam, my trim is going to be ideally underneath that ledge and not seen out here. But I kind of have to relieve it. And then I'm just going to lift up a little, make sure there's no lift line. If there is a lift line, I can hide it on that mold line. And then I'll try to feed a little bit of this top down into there, a little bit. And then I want this to kind of suck down this corner, so I'm just going to redistribute that film a little bit more away from that corner.
Good.
Is that good?
Yeah, look good.
Okay, so this part,
Getting closer. Boom.
so I'm going to trim this bottom line over there.
I'm gonna trim it.
Because I have to be able to now push this film down into this to get this to suck down nice. I can't just get this. See how, if I were to pull this, there's here or here. So now I have to,
Wait, show that again?
so if I were to pull this to get this tighter, there's extra material here. So I need to be able to flap this over. This is why I'll have the seam in here somewhere. Here, I need to get over there.
Switch?
Maybe just real quick. Switch.
Did you cook?
I tell a little bit. So I just started it. So I went a little too high. So I'll come back and clean it up a little bit. But so I got it started, and then I'll just bring this down and feed it into it. And then I'll do another like 3-inch cut. So now I'm just trimming. I'm trimming on the bottom. Like I'm trying to get. I'm a little high here, but I'll come back down and then I'll clean it up. Try to be in that valley. If I can get a shadow on it, that'd be nice. And then I'll get this section down, and then, so remember there's no tension here, so I can let this sit and I can lift up there, and really it shouldn't put a lift line in there. So now I'm trying to, without tearing my cut, trying to feed more material into this, so that way you're not really seeing the trim out here, the relief that's out here. I'll stop it somewhere, hopefully right around here. I mean, if you're looking for it, you'll see it, but the idea is like, you won't see it just, standing here looking at the mirror. You have to know what you're looking for. To be honest, I'm not happy with this trim. It goes, I don't know if you can see it. It's not exactly seating in that little like valley, so I'll clean that up.
You should just use a knee pad.
You should.
How'd you trim it?
Why?
Yeah.
It wasn't in that necessarily like that channel, that sharp little V. It was up.
Much?
Yeah, it went up to the V and then up the wall, which it would just not really sit down right there. So while you're away, I trimmed off excess.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Why don't you yell at me, dude?
Because you're doing your thing, you're busy. I don't want to bother you.
I didn't want to bother you.
Okay.
I just trying to put him on blast, that's all.
Hey.
All right, lock in. Go.
Okay, so now I want to, because I relieved that and this is separate, this can fold over, not be big finger. So what I'll see what I can do is I'm going to try to pull just a good enough amount to where this is going to have enough tension to, to suck down around the backside right here, because we need it to go over that edge, remember? So I'll just make sure no line. Okay. If you come on this side, then I will slightly pull. You want to make sure there's no stretch line, stretch mark. It is satin, so you can get away with murder, but well, I like saying that word. And then I am pulling on this. I don't mean to, but it's like that's my leverage. I will release that tension though. Okay, so then I am going to, because I use this as leverage, I kind of pulled right here. I don't want there to be tension on this edge, like I said earlier on that side. I want to let it kind of relax. So what I'm doing is, oh no, dirt.
Dark.
And then, yeah, so I am pulling, but you'll see me release the tension as I get closer to my hand. So, because I do not want that tension on that edge, otherwise it will just fail over time. So it should be loaded up with alcohol, get it to stick. So then I'm releasing it right there and then getting it down over that edge. Same thing over here, I'll give it a pull upward, and then I don't have to go that far because I see the other line. I'll just slowly start releasing it.
Looking good.
Okay, so now I'll get it just over this edge. So I'll probably actually use my finger. Put it over that ridge first.
Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
And then just squeeze it, shove it down there. Okay. Now what we do,
That was removed.
well, we got to make sure that we're good right here. So same thing on that side. I want the tension to go away from the corner. So I'll kind of work outward.
Stick on the edge.
So I can stick on the edge.
One time, right? Let's try it.
Okay, now what I will do, well, I don't know. It's kind of just choose what you want to do. I'm gonna trim this line. So you can see me, I'll do as tight of a trim as possible. I'm running out of blade here, so I actually, break, I get a new blade. And I will get this on here. So then, he is moving it. One time well, the last video I did for my BMW that I got ripped to shreds because I sprayed my interior. I didn't finish it. I didn't finish like trimming it. So like I did it all, laid it down, and then I was like, all right, that's it. Like for me, like trimming it, it's boring, but like people were like, why didn't you show the full thing? So we're gonna show the full thing now. You're gonna have to stay with me. Okay. And again, this is satin. If this is gloss, honestly, I'd be using a kit here. The same thing. I think it'd be like a little relief here. Be using the kit fully all day long. I wouldn't be doing this if it was gloss, unless the customer wanted to pay me. I like breaking up my trims for some reason, like on something like this. I don't know why. It's like rather than doing the full thing in one, I'll like do some, I'll reset, do it again. And because I pulled this right here, it should be a little tighter. There's like a little ridge. I'm actually trimming on the face, but there's like this mold line as well on the bottom. I'm like trimming on, not going all the way. Not like if you were to really look close, there's probably gloss you can see. You're crazy if you're like, you can't see it. You don't see any light really reflecting off of that. So that's what we do. And then I will just bring this over. This front edge is down. This corner is probably where you're gonna see, if anything, a gloss. I didn't pull this really tight right along here on this edge. I kind of just let it relax down. The reason being is I don't want to pull tight and stretch it and get it to like almost cap around this corner because it has tension. And with that tension, it seams right there. So if I was to do that, it would look good for a day, maybe even like a couple weeks or months. And then it's slowly gonna start creeping back. You might see the adhesive stuck, but then the urethane's kind of pulling away from it. Looking like a weird ghosted line. It just doesn't look good. So I would rather have this where it ends and seams relaxed It's not going to separate. It's not going to look anything, you know, anything more than this. It'll stay like this for like forever. There's no tension right there. So then I will probably like kind of float this cut right here. Yeah. And that's just like kind of temporary. I'll see how far I can get it down, and then I'll trim off the rest. So this is with no heat, you know. If I apply heat on it, I feel like it's skewing the results a little bit, because I'm just kind of forcing it down, and I think it would come up later. So that's just laying it down cold. I'll clean it up, but no, I'll do the opposite. Rather than, I won't trim in the valley. I'll trim really close to that little valley, that little 90-degree in here. So there will be a slight gap. You could probably fit your fingernail in, but I would say it's acceptable.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, looking at it, unless you bend down, you're not going to see any gloss.
I see it, bro.
So I'll get some of this moisture off right here. I'll let it tack up. I'm gonna try to get it down as much as I can without any heat. Then I'll work it down a little bit with heat, and then trim off the rest. And then well, I didn't finish off this trim, this seam. I seamed it right here, but I didn't finish this. It's overlapping onto this one. It's kind of an awkward angle. I didn't want to try to continue that. So, and then I'll push through right there.
Oh yeah, clean.
And then gotta find a safe space to just like got enough to go over, figure out where that's at. Like I don't know yet. I'll probably do from here down. That finger is not tight, really. It's now that it's kind of cut on that face, it's probably not going to come back up. Coming up, you know. Yeah, I'll trim all that. I probably want to use a little bit of heat around there. I want to like with these corners. I do like sometimes giving a little pull, but you got to be careful. It doesn't have a. You don't want to pull like you don't want to like Hulk it. Just a little bit of tension, like ever so slight amount of tension, just to kind of get it to suck down as much as you can around that ridge. Because I don't try to like. I'm not trying to like cap it right there. I want to really. That's probably where you're gonna see gloss is like these edges, these areas. So I'll like kind of come down as far as I can, so I'm like a little on the underside, and then come up to base.
That looks good, dude.
Does it?
Yeah, it looks great.
So, and then I'm gonna give this just a little bit of
A little bit of heat, bro.
just a little bit. I don't want to like I don't really have much leverage to pull it. So it's like okay, I'm gonna just gonna try to get it down a little bit with a little bit of warmth, try to evaporate some of that moisture underneath, and then just kind of work it. I'm not trying to force it down. I'll give this a little heat to see, make sure nothing pops up. No fingers, nothing like that.
Heat's up, final touch.
Well, I mean, not even really. I'm just kind of double checking because like if you try to force down fingers right there, you apply a little bit of heat to it or put it outside, it's gonna pop up. So you know, it's looking like it's gonna be no issue. I'll get this down. I'm gonna let it cool. I don't like trimming when it's hot because it's like trimming a gummy bear. It's just like wants to grab your blade and then I'll give this a little bit of heat. See how far I can get it down comfortably. All right, so if you look under there, I don't know if you can see, it went over the edge for sure, but then I gotta trim it back a hair. I'm not trying to force it down, melt it down. It's just, I don't know if you can see, I'll just trim that short. It's still over that edge. You're not gonna see it unless you're upside down, like with a light on it, but just kind of saying what I would do. Gummy bear should be cool, so I'm gonna trim it. All right, now I'm just heat gutting it, going over, making sure the edges are down. Seeing if I need to retrim anything, I'll trim this one more time, but other than that, it's pretty much done.
Tweezers.
I do have tweezers. My tweezers are a little jacked up though. Hey, where are my tweezers? Over there? Yeah, where is it? I know, but I don't know if I put them away. You got tweezers? Dang, look at these grippers. Here you go. Hey, thank you. And then
I love the way it feels.
it's nice, huh?
Yeah.
It's like silky.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, chill, dude. We're on camera. You're on camera. They don't see your face. They see mine. All right. There you go. I still want to go over it again with the econ, just to make sure. But make sure every edge is for sure sealed. But this is how we did a full satin Tesla Model Y mirror. One piece, tons of seams, but one piece. Is it overkill? Yeah, probably. I mean, I could have done patch here, cut, then piece right here. It would have been probably a little quicker. But I was curious. I wanted to try, play around with it. And I mean, it looks good. It looks good. Shouldn't fail at all. I don't see why it would fail. And this was with Lumar's Platinum matte film. So yeah, that's it. It's all done.